Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys a different type of video in this one. So I'm going to try to get through this pretty quick, but before I go into the video, I just want to say links to Discord and the second channel are down below in the video description if you guys want to check those out. Second channel is for more personal stuff. The Discord is like where you guys can talk to me, you know, whether it's about politics, NBA trades, stuff like that. You can talk to me about anything in there. We just started that up not long ago, so there's like 2 or 3 people in it at the moment, but that's something I just wanted to promote more going forward. Real quick before I get into the topic of the video, I just want to say these trades that you're about to see for Buddy Hield, because that's what it is. It's a Buddy Hield trade video. It's 5 trades for Buddy Hield. I spent like 3 hours working on this video. I tried to come up with trades that I thought were realistic, or trades that like would respect Buddy Hield's wishes, because it's pretty obvious that the front office is going to try to do good by Buddy Hield and trade him to a team that has a chance to win, give him a chance to win, or trade him to a team that's just going to pay him what the fuck he wants. So that's why these trades exist. That's why I didn't do like trade him to the fucking Bucks for Pat Connaughton and Grayson Allen or any shit like that, because I kind of don't like those trades. Somebody also brought up like trading Buddy Hield for Jonathan Isaac, but I'm like, okay, Jonathan Isaac's a good defender, but the problem is like the dude never fucking plays. So I tried to do some trades that I thought would help us, but also help the teams that we're trading Buddy Hield to. So I don't ask for likes on videos because I think asking for likes is really tacky, but this took me a long fucking time to do, so if you guys could drop a like on the video, like, I would appreciate it. And anybody who's a long time subscriber to the channel knows I've never asked for likes like really in any fucking video. Like, this might be like one of the 5 videos I asked for likes on this channel out of the 323 of them that fucking exist. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So the very first trade is with the Memphis Grizzlies. Obviously, John Morant is suspended for a quarter of the season, but they're still going to be a competitive basketball team. They were good without John Morant. Even with John Morant, you know, like, it really doesn't matter if John Morant's there or not. They're still a very, very capable basketball team. And this trade's pretty simple. It's Buddy Hield to the Grizzlies for Luke Kennard, straight up. Yeah, I don't think this is the worst trade in the world. Luke Kennard is 27 years old. He shot the 3 at 52% last year after he got traded to the Grizzlies and shot 52% from the field as a whole. And he shoots 94% from the free throw line. Like, he shoots free throws at a 90+% clip on 11.5 points a game, essentially. He's an inch taller than Buddy Hield. He's younger. He's got 2 years left. Buddy Hield has 1 year left. You know, I think this works out for both teams. Buddy Hield's more of a movement shooter, but Luke Kennard is still very capable. And Luke Kennard also fills that gap that Pacers fans were worried about with, you know, we might lose our shooting without Buddy Hield. This at least fills that worry, you know what I'm saying, or that void where, you know, Luke Kennard's still a guy that he's 27 years old. And honestly, I think we could bring Luke Kennard back for a lot cheaper than Buddy Hield. You know, he's got 2 years left on his deal this year and next year. And, you know, when when he comes up for contract renewal, I just think we could bring him back for a lot cheaper than whatever the fuck it is Buddy Hield wanted. So, you know, I think Buddy Hield, once he's traded, is going to realize that the market for shooters is not what it used to be. Teams don't want to end up like the Miami Heat, okay, where they pay Duncan Robinson $70 million, and it's like, because the only asset they bring to the table is shooting a 3, you now have a shit ton of cap space tied up into a guy you can't even play. And not for nothing, but Buddy Hield is not a good defender either, and Luke Kennard's not a great defender either, but he's at the very least an inch taller than Buddy Hield. So I don't think this is the worst trade in the world, and it sends Buddy Hield to the Grizzlies, who are going to be a playoff team. You know what I'm saying? Like, you fulfill his wishes, and at the same time, you're not exactly losing a whole hell of a lot either. You're also freeing up $4.5 million in cap space. So, yeah, at the end of the day, we save $4.5 million on cap. We get a guy who's an inch taller and a guy who shoots the ball at pretty much the same percentage as Buddy Hield, who's 3 years younger. So, yeah, I really like this trade. This would be like the ideal trade for Buddy Hield, but it's probably not going to happen. So, yeah, that's the first trade for Buddy Hield. The next trade, this is going to be a trade that I think a lot of people don't like, but I'll explain it. And it's going to be with the Chicago Bulls. And because I'm a huge fan of DeMar DeRozan, we're doing a DeMar DeRozan trade, which is going to be Daniel Tice and Buddy Hield and a 2024 first-round pick for DeMar DeRozan. And the reason I'm doing this is mostly because the Bulls need to get younger. DeMar DeRozan's on an expiring deal. They need a backup center, and really they could use about as many first-round picks as they can get. That 2024 first-rounder is going to be a mid to late first-round pick anyway. It's not going to be a lottery pick by any means, but it'll be outside of the lottery, maybe early 20s. It's still a solid pick. And the Bulls, not for nothing, but they're in kind of like a rebuild state anyway. They don't want to admit it to themselves, but that's where they're at. And if you bring in Buddy Hield, like, Buddy Hield can go to the Bulls. They can pay him an ass ton of money. He's 4 years younger than DeMar DeRozan. Daniel Tice is 31. You bring in a decent backup center because Andre Drummond is like, it's Andre Drummond. He's old. And that 2024 first-round pick, like I said, is still a solid pick. And if you're the Bulls, getting all of that for DeMar DeRozan is probably the best you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's probably one of the better offers you're going to get for DeMar DeRozan. And on the Pacers side of things, like, the Pacers are really one piece away. Like, I'm just going to call it what it is. Like, the Pacers are one piece away from being a really, really solid basketball team and being in championship talks, dare I say, even with Miles Turner and his, issues. I think if you put DeMar DeRozan next to Ben Mathurin and Tyrese Halliburton and Obi Toppin and Miles Turner, suddenly, like, what DeMar DeRozan provides is a guy that you can get a bucket from. He shoots 50% from the field, 32% from three is not the greatest, but he shoots 87% from the free throw line, and he scores 24 and a half points a game. And I think he averages 1 steal as well. Like, DeMar DeRozan is 6'6", and even though he's 34 years old, and I know that's the thing people don't like about him is that he's old, but the fact of the matter is DeMar DeRozan's got 1 year left worth $28.6 million. I guarantee you can bring DeMar DeRozan back for cheaper than whatever the fuck he's getting paid now. He's not going to make $28 million a year, I don't think, ever again, but you could bring him back for $20, $22 million a year over the next 2 or 3 years, and DeMar DeRozan has also always been a guy that has never, like, how do I put this? He's never been a guy to run to championship teams. Like, he played for the Raptors, stayed with the Raptors for a long time, got traded to the Spurs, stayed with the Spurs, then he signed with the Chicago Bulls. Like, this is not a guy who runs to championship situations. This is a guy who wants to be a part of something that is being built. He wants to be like one of the focal points of a team that's, building and building something. Like to win something, you know what I'm saying? He wants to be a part of something. He doesn't want to run to something, and I can respect that. And I think DeMar DeRozan would love playing in Indiana. Like, he's just a guy that I'm like, he's got that little post fade that's fucking ridiculous. He's one of the best mid-range shooters in basketball. We've seen it time and time again with the Chicago Bulls, how much of a clutch player he is, like with last-second shots and shit. Like, he's a dependable guy. And in a league where it's like what we need is like Paul George, Mikal Bridges, Brandon Ingram, guys like that, we can't get guys like that. So to get DeMar DeRozan on an expiring deal for Buddy Hield, Daniel Tice, and a 2024 first, I don't think that's the end of the world. I think it's a great move for us, and I think he would come back. I think he would enjoy playing with Tyrese Halliburton. Like, and forget it, bro. If Obi Toppin goes off, like, think about it. If Miles Turner has an all-star year, right, and Tyrese Halliburton continues to be an all-star, and Obi Toppin has a really solid year as a starter, if we trade for DeRozan, like, DeRozan's coming back, bro. Like, I don't know what else to tell you, but DeMar DeRozan's coming back to that. Okay, so it's just the idea. I like it. It's exactly what the doctor ordered in some cases for what we need. We've got guys on our team that can shoot threes. Halliburton can shoot threes. Obi Toppin can shoot threes. Miles Turner can shoot threes. Ben Mathurin can shoot threes. Having one guy in your fucking starting lineup that can't shoot a three is not the end of the world. Especially when he can drive and kick out to the other guys. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think his age is the end of the world. Like, I think DeMar DeRozan's going to continue to be a good player till he's at least 36, 37 years old. Like, the dude played 74 games last year. Started all 74 games. Played 76 games the year before that and started all 76 games. The man plays basketball. He's a fucking baller. I don't understand the sentiment around it where, oh, he's old, he's this, he's that. Even if we get him for another 2 or 3 years, like, fuck it, who cares? You know what I'm saying? He's on an expiring deal. We could bring him back. And he's a guy that would probably come back for less money, too. Just saying. That's kind of what I think. So that's why I like that trade. So that's the DeMar DeRozan trade. Next is a trade that I feel like Atlanta would do. We're trading with Atlanta, and this is another straight-up trade. It's Buddy Hield for Bogdan Bogdanovic. If we try this trade, Bogdan Bogdanovic is 31, Buddy Hield is 30. But Buddy Hield's on an expiring deal, and Bogdan Bogdanovic still has 4 years left on his deal. And Bogdan Bogdanovic, 2 inches taller than Buddy Hield, shoots the three at 40%. But the thing is, his contract is actually pretty crazy because it gets cheaper as time goes on. And the final year of his contract is actually a team option. And the only reason I think Atlanta does this is because Buddy Hield is just fucking ridiculous. And when you compare, you could put him next to Trae Young or DeJounte Murray, and you always have like a dynamic backcourt out there. You don't have to play them together at that point. And Buddy Hield is more mobile. Buddy Hield is better off the dribble shooter than Bogdan Bogdanovic. But at least if you're the Pacers, you get a guy who's 31. He's got a team option in his final year. He's still able to shoot the three at 40%. He's 6'6", and you know, once again, it's like the Luke Kennard trade. You're getting a guy that can shoot a three, who is extended. Essentially, you know, like he's 31, so he's got 4 years left, so you don't got to worry about re-signing him. Whereas if Buddy Hield goes to the Hawks can worry about re-signing Buddy Hield. So it's just like, and on top of it, like the Hawks are looking to get rid of any long-term contracts they have anyway. So it's like, you know, if you're the Hawks, it's like you're getting off a long-term contract to bring in a short-term contract, and who knows, maybe Buddy Hield likes playing for them, and you know, he gives them a break on it. I doubt it's going to happen, but it's just the idea, like, for the Hawks, like, they're just looking to free up salary cap space, and this allows them to do that. You know, they can let Buddy Hield walk in free agency and sign somebody else, but at least the Pacers, on the flip side, they still get the three-point shooting, you know, so that's why that trade exists. The next trade that we're going to do here is, hold on, I think this is with the Knicks. Yeah, so the next trade is with the Knicks, and this is really for a first-round pick, if anything. This trade is Buddy Hield to the Knicks for Evan Fournier and the Washington Wizards pick they have that's lottery protected. So this is a trade that we would do. We would get the 2024 first-round pick via the Washington Wizards, which is protected 1 through 12, which means it's still a lottery pick. So figure if Washington is as bad a basketball team as we think they're going to be this year, figure that pick will still be a lottery pick. So really, you're trading Buddy Hield for a lottery pick and a guy the Knicks have been desperately trying to get rid of. Evan Fournier is a guy who can still shoot the three at 38%, like 38%, 40% in that ballpark. Part of me thinks Evan Fournier just needs a change of scenery too. He's 3 inches taller than Buddy Hield. I think they're the same age also. I think they're both 30 years old. Don't quote me on it. But it's just the idea, you get rid of Buddy Hield, you send him to the Knicks. The Knicks are a team that is looking to get rid of Evan Fournier anyway. And Evan Fournier still has 2 years left. He's a guy we could definitely bring back for less money than Buddy Hield because of how shitty he's played. Primarily from the field, not from three. But also, Evan Fournier has had a career low in field goal attempts while playing for the Knicks, which I think has a lot to do with his shitty field goal percentage. And on top of it, when you consider the idea that Tom Thibodeau can't draw up an offensive play to save his fucking life, I think that has a lot to do with it as well. So, yeah, I feel like Evan Fournier could just really use a change of scenery, and that 2024 first-round pick is just really, really good for us. You know what I'm saying? It's a great tradable asset if we don't want it. And even if we do want it and we keep it, it's still a lottery pick. You know what I'm saying? And you get to send Buddy Hield to the Knicks, and he can go over there and play with Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle and stand in the fucking corner and shoot threes and do what Buddy Hield does. You know, the Knicks play an up-paced tempo anyway for the most part. So I think Buddy Hield being there in a way benefits them. In some ways, I think Evan Fournier benefits us. Like I said, not the most attractive trade in the world. The lottery pick is really what we're going for here, and Evan Fournier is kind of just thrown in for salary filler and the fact that he can shoot a 3 at 38%. So that's that trade. And here's the last trade. This is going to be the trade people don't like, but I'll explain it. And this is with the Nets, and this is for Mikal Bridges. So the trade is Benedict Mathurin, Buddy Hield, and 2 first-round picks, the 2024 and the 2026 for Mikal Bridges. Now, this is all, like, this trade's not going to happen. I'm just going to call it what it is. Like, this is a trade that's not going to happen because the Nets are probably not going to trade Mikal Bridges. And I know there's Pacers fans that don't want to trade Benedict Mathurin. But let's just say, hypothetically, Buddy Hield is still on our trade come the trade deadline, and the Nets are still playing like absolute dog shit. Like, they're not winning games. Mikal Bridges is 27 years old. So is Cam Johnson. Spencer Dinwiddie is 30. I think Joe... They have a lot of guys, Dorian Finney-Smith is 30. Like, they're a team that it's like, yes, they're trying to win games, but by the time they get around to putting something around Mikal Bridges that'll actually win them a championship or put them in a championship conversation, Mikal Bridges is probably going to be like 31, 32 years old. Like, I'm just going to call it what it is, and he's 27 years old now. If you're the Nets, getting Buddy Hield and Benedict Mathurin and 2 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges is not the end of the world. Obviously, Buddy Hield's probably not going to stay there, but what you're really doing this for is Benedict Mathurin and the 2 first-round picks. Benedict Mathurin, great player. He's 21 years old, still has a lot of room to grow, but I don't think he'll ever be the player Mikal Bridges is. Like, being the player Mikal Bridges is where you are a solid all-around player. Like, Mikal Bridges, when he got traded to the Nets last year, he played 27 games for them. He started 27 games for them. He shot 47% from the field, 37% from 3, 89% from the free throw line, and scored 26 points per game. I don't think Benedict Mathurin's ever going to do that. Like, Benedict Mathurin, yeah, he'll be a good player for us or somebody else someday, but trading Benedict Mathurin and 2 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges, and we got to throw Buddy Hield in there for salary filler, makes our team fucking amazing. Okay? And that's why I don't think the Nets would do this, is because of how good Mikal Bridges is. And Mikal Bridges is borderline a superstar player at this point. We also managed to save $4.5 million. But Mikal Bridges is the exact player we need to send this team over the top. Like, a starting lineup of Tyrese Halliburton, okay, Bruce Brown, Mikal Bridges, Obi Toppin, and Miles Turner would put us in the top 5 in the East in seeding. Like, and same thing with the DeRozan trade. That would put us in the top 5 in the East in seeding. I understand why people don't want to trade the picks, but those picks would end up being late first-round picks anyway, because our team would be a perennial playoff team at this point. So that's why I include the two picks, because that 2024 first-rounder is going to be a late first-rounder, and the 2026 first-rounder is probably going to be a late first-rounder also. So you're giving them 2 late first-round picks, Benedict Mathurin and Buddy Hield, for a superstar player. And if you're the Nets, I don't think that's bad, considering Benedict Mathurin is 21 and we've already seen the type of promise he has. I understand people don't want to trade Benedict Mathurin because of the ceiling. I don't even want to trade Benedict Mathurin because of the ceiling that he has and how good of a player he could potentially be. But I just think expecting Benedict Mathurin to be just as good as Mikal Bridges or better is a tall order to fill. He's good, but will he ever be that good? I don't know. But I just think this puts us in a win now situation rather than waiting for Benedict Mathurin to become whatever the fuck he's going to become. So Anyway, guys, that's it. Like I said, this trade is just a hypothetical trade. This trade is not going to happen. I'm just telling you right now, like, the Michael Bridges trade is not going to happen. But it's just the idea, like, this is just wishful thinking for, like, if Buddy Hield's still on our roster at the trade deadline and the Nets are playing like shit. So, tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on this. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'm the Fast Break Report, and out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.